Hi and welcome to the Review Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Alita Battle Angel. This is how I structure my reviews. In case you don't know, I give a short synopsis, then I talk about what I liked and did not. And then I give a short fact before I give my rating at the end. Let's dive into the review. Alita Battle Angel is directed by Robert Rodriguez, the man who gave us Sin City and Planet Terror, and produced by Jim Cameron, who gave us Avatar and the Titanic. Titanic. Battle Angel, known as Ganmu in Japan, I hope I'm getting that right, is an original video animation based on the Battle Angel Alita manga by Yukito Kishiro. I think that's right. And so now we have a live adaptation movie, Alita Battle Angel. Alita wakes up in a trash heap in a world of the future. It's a world she does not recognize. She's found by Ido, played by Christoph Waltz, who kind of becomes her surrogate father. It's a film about self-discovery and hope. Alita has to find out who she is before people who know who she is and what she is put it together and come to track her down and put her down. And I don't really want to say more than that because of spoilers. To say anything more about the story will probably give some things away. If you want to go it in afresh, that's all I'm going to say. What I like. I am actually a massive anime fan, but I can say that the only time I ever heard about this was when James Cameron was attached to direct this movie years ago. So my review is coming from a film as a film point, not what it didn't get right from manga or anime. And I can say without a doubt, I'm sure that there will be many who just are upset by this film because they so love the manga. And I think that's normally the case. It was the same for me with Ready Player One. I had read the book, I'd listened to the audio, and I loved it so much. So when I saw the film, it wasn't the same. They changed a lot. I did enjoy the film, but I think that's going to be the same for Alita. I was actually really excited to see this film. My wife and I braved the snow to go out to watch this film. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Rodriguez and Jim Cameron. Avatar for me is the best 3D experience I've had to date. Whatever you thought about the story, the film itself set a new bar in cinema experience, and that's what I was hoping to get from this film. My wife and I were lucky enough to get a couple of tickets to an early screening for a 3D showing and the IMAX showing, and so we definitely wanted to brave the weather for that. So we sat ourselves in the middle, because apparently that's the optimal viewing place for a 3D showing. I'm not sure if that's true, but maybe it is, I don't know. And I have to say, the 2 hours of Alita zoomed by, it really is a visual feast for your eyeballs. Alita takes a few minutes to world build at the beginning of the movie, but then it jumps straight into the story, and you have to discover Iron City as Alita discovers Iron City. It's a mechanic that works really well in this movie. You find out about the incredible world that takes place a few hundred years in the future, as she does. So as she journeys to discover who she is and what she is and why she doesn't have her memories, you get to discover that as well. And it's a nice kind of juxtaposition. You are along the ride almost physically through 3D, through the immersiveness of the depth of what they're trying to create with this world. And as she discovers things, you do. And I thought this worked really well. And talking about the 3D, it isn't just a gimmick in this movie. You don't get those moments where an arm is stretching out of the screen and is going, "Whoa, look at me, I'm 3D!" It's none of that. Instead, the 3D in here just adds to the depth. The 3D is another dimension to add to the immersiveness of you, the viewer. I remember my eyes following a speck of dust that flew out of the screen to the left. I turned my head and followed it with my eyes. My brain for a moment believed that that speck was real, even though I knew what I was watching is not. And I think that speaks to the immersiveness of the kind of experience that they were trying to create. And I think they got that right. There's no getting away from the fact that the film is mostly CG and filled with VFX. Obviously it is. I was really worried actually that, particularly in Alita, that this would bug me, but it didn't. I think this is down to the incredible acting abilities of Rosa Salazar, who plays Alita, and also that the fact that she's a cyborg. You take the great acting chops that she portrays her character that you really engage with. I engaged with her character very quickly after the film started. And I kind of forgot that I was watching this immersive CG VFX film, but I was more encapsulated into the world that they were trying to create. It's truly a film that is for escapism. It's an adventure ride that I didn't have to think about too hard. And that's all I really wanted from the film. What I did not like. I was hoping that I would be able to say that this film is perfect, that the creators did a perfect job in this, and or as near as possible as perfect as they could. But unfortunately, there are a few things that really bugged me. Firstly, some of the actors in this film were just massively underused. Mahershala Ali, for one, who plays Vector, his character is so very generic bad guy, so two-dimensional. It feels like a massive sin having a man of his talent not to be given some more meat to his character. And that's probably my biggest complaint about this film as a whole. Most of the characters are little more than what's on the surface. Jennifer Connelly's character, or Christoph Waltz, or even Edward Norton, you never really get to see more than surface level with these characters. Yes, there is some backstory with them, but not much, not in a way that kind of really gives the actors something really kind of meaty to get to grips with. And I feel like the world they've done and created, they've given this massive world for Alita to play in, and some incredible characters that you get to see on surface level. But had they really kind of given the actors more to play with in dialogue and what to do, and maybe just more to express themselves, I think that this film would have just added another notch to its dimension that it needed. In fact, the plot is the same way. The story is all about Alita and her past, about who she is and what she is. But some of the things revealed in this film, it doesn't go to. So it shows you some things and you're like, oh, I want to know about that, I want to know the answer to that. And that just doesn't. And that's my biggest complaint. Alita Battle Angel looks like it's going to be the first of many films. And looks like they haven't told us the best stories. It's like they're saving the best for last. The best character development, the best stories up in the city, in the sky. They're saving it, and they're universe building. So this is an origin story for Alita and teases you with what could be or what might have been. My wife literally said as she walked into the snow with me last night, "Come on, man, that ending, how long are we going to have to wait to find out? Or is that how they're going to leave it?" And I can totally get her frustration with this. It seems like no big film these days can just be a contained story. Everything has to be a universe. Sometimes films can end well and go on to have a great sequel. Terminator, for example, the Bourne series, the first one was excellent, the second one was great. They did well, but here it feels like you've watched a 2-hour intro to this universe, and maybe 6 years time we can tune in to watch the next episode. Did you know? James Cameron was actually going to direct this film, as I mentioned earlier, but due to his commitments with the Avatar sequels, which apparently rarely are being made, he could only come on board as a writer and producer. So had those Avatar sequels actually been made when he told us that he was going to make them, he might have directed this. Alita Battle Angel is an immersive visual feast for your eyeballs. The action sequences alone are worth every second if you don't expect too much meat on the bone of the characters and stories you see within it. There are some characters that are a little fleshed out, and there are some great interactions between these characters, especially Alita. I really like what they did with her. I really like how the actress portrays her character. I think her character for me was the best thing in amongst the action sequences about this film. So where there are things that I really loved about this film, there are things that really bugged me. So I'm going to give Alita a B-. Thanks for watching my review of Alita Battle Angel. Film reviews are subjected to everyone's own point of view, and as such I'm fully aware that some will hate this movie and some will love it. Let's discuss in the comments below. I have a number of reviews headed your way. Velvet Buzzsaw and Russian Doll, which are out on Netflix today, I have those reviews out already, so check those out. I also have Night Flyers and Always a Witch, which will be dropping this afternoon. Fingers crossed I can finish editing. So if you liked my review and found it informative and helpful, please hit that subscribe bell. Hit that subscribe button and bell. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. And remember, until next time, live long and Tuesday.